Hi, Colin Lennox here with EcoIslands LLC. We're over at the Penn State Altoona Campus. I actually grew up on this campus, so there's these very pathways I've been walking my entire life. But the pond needs some love. There's a lot of sediment and a lot of nutrients. I can speak from seeing the science. Also, a lot of fecal coliforms, or you know what, in the water. Why? What happened here? Essentially, there's not enough flow through the system. There's too many nutrients going into what is essentially a bathtub, and that's what this was really originally built for. It was a warming pond for a larger lake, so it's not a surprise. But now you want it to look good, you want it to be healthy. So one of the other major issues that it doesn't have is any kind of wetland. Like I said, it's literally a concrete lined, essentially a bathtub with a clay bottom below it. So the water quality is really poor. Things that you can do, how do you make this a better system? Well, you can get the water moving. That's one thing. Pumps lots of electricity. You have to move it at a really high rate of flow, and that doesn't remove the sediment within the pond itself, because this is about 4 feet deep, and you got 1.5 foot of sediment at the bottom of it. You got to get that sediment out of there. And once again, there's no wetland. There's no means for accumulating that sediment within the water column. The problem of too much nutrients and sediment in lakes is found across the entire country. One potential solution is the PermaCycler, or the boxed wetland. That's something that I and my company, EcoIslands LLC, have been developing over the last 10 years for a whole host of applications: mining, methane production, a whole bunch of other things. But what we want to focus on right now is just the ability to clean a lake that has entirely too much sediment, entirely too much nutrients in the system, put flow back into that system, allow it to cycle naturally, but also be able to move that material. And it is a pretty simple system at the heart of it. You have what is essentially a very large box that functions as a wetland and screens out material and bioremediates material, but we won't get into that right now either. But that sediment, the material that's going through the box, is captured and is then able to be flushed out periodically every couple days. Now, that material has potential value, strong value. There's a lot of nutrients and other minerals that are in that material that is great for putting on garden, great for putting on agricultural settings. That's where most of that sediment came from in the first place. Construction, farms, lakes, forests being cut down and all that material flushing into the waterways. This gives you a way to get that material back. So that's return on investment. So doing some basic calculations, we figured that with one box running about 100 gallons a minute, with what's called 1 gram per liter of material running all year round, gets you somewhere around 7 to 10 triaxle loads of material annually. And if you run the rest of the numbers out, you're anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 a year in material per box, which then works out to an ROI of somewhere around 6 to 8 years. So not only are you getting the pond clean, digging it down deeper, you're getting more oxygen throughout the entire profile, which brings, instead of your critters hiding in certain areas, they can now enjoy and grow and fill out the entire lake. You get that money back as well, so the system actually pays for itself. One of the major issues that a lot of communities, lakes, and ponds are seeing throughout the U.S., particularly during the summer when the water is the warmest and you have very limited mixing of different water bodies, is toxic algae blooms, whether it be cyanobacteria here in the Northeast or golden algae in, say, the American Southwest, that produce different toxins that can kill fish and are straight up harmful to people if you even get the stuff on you. Rashes, Lord knows if you ingest any of this stuff, it's really not good on the outside. Trust me, it's not good on the inside either. So being able to screen out that algae, once again, that total suspended solids, not only is removing the algae, and there's some evidence that will actually break down the cyanotoxins directly within the boxes, within our wetlands themselves, but you also increase the clarity of that lake, which gives you those other benefits I'd spoken of earlier, greater macrophytes, and that's a pond or a lake that you're going to want to go swimming in. If you can see several feet down, then you're in a really good spot. You've got not this. Essentially, where you've got maybe just you got about a foot of clarity down into this system. All those benefits, bragging rights. I don't know if you really want to throw that one in there, but my pond is cleaner than your pond. And it paid for itself in 7 years. Of course, one of the biggest benefits, if you love your pond and you love to fish, the ability to clean up that algae, which in some cases will wipe out all of the fish in the American Southwest with golden algae. That is a major issue. Total fisheries being entirely wiped out by the growth of golden algae. It comes down to too many nutrients, not enough mixing, no wetland, too much sediment. All those different combinations of impactors wipe out whole fisheries. So if you have a lake or pond, are part of a watershed association with an impacted lake or pond, are a regulator, or a for-profit business that has fisheries, that this is how you make your money, give us a call. We have the solutions, and they didn't exist beforehand. You can get information online at www.EcoIslandsLLC.com. Once again, my name's Colin Lennox. Find me on there. You can send me an email. And what? I'm sorry.
Click the link below. Easy. Easy.
So if you're interested in our solutions, please click the link below. Give us a call. Check out our website. Follow our blog, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all the socials. We're all over all of them. And thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate the listen. Colin Lennox, signing off.